Hey there, Math 7. It is Wednesday, March 25th. It's day 8 of the iReady packet. Today we're going to do page 24, 25, 26, and 27. I know it seems like a lot, but some of these pages only have a few questions on them. I'm going to do some select problems, and then you can keep going. So let's look at this. It says expanding expressions. Expand each expression and combine like terms if possible. These parentheses and the word expand indicate that we'll need to use the distributive property, which is review. There's going to be a lot of distributive property on these pages to come today. So that's what we're going to focus on. This is an expression. Number 1 is an expression. All of these are. Because it doesn't have an equal sign, you cannot solve it. All you can do is simplify. We can't simplify inside the parentheses here, x minus 2, because they're not like terms. The best we can do is the distributive property. And that means I'm going to multiply this factor out front by the two terms inside. So here we go. 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. These aren't like terms. I can't combine them, so that's the best we've got. Let's try another one. Distributive property. Negative 3 times x, that's negative 3x. And negative 3 times positive 7 is negative 21. Those aren't like terms, so I can't combine them. Number 3. Negative 4 times negative x is positive 4x. And negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32. Let's do this one. That fraction out there, it looks scary, but it really isn't. Let's multiply. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. And 1/3 of 9, think about that, 1/3 of 9, or 3 even groups of 9, that's 3. 1/3 of negative 9 is negative 3. Go down the page a little bit further, I want to do number 7. It has 3 terms inside the parentheses, but there are terms inside the parentheses that are like terms. So let's combine those like terms first. Inside the parentheses, that says x minus 2x. X, I'm going to put a little box around it, x minus 2x. If I have 1x and I take away 2 x's, I'll have negative 1x left over. Plus 18 stays the same, and these are in parentheses, and there's 2/3 in front. Now we're going to use the distributive property. Negative 1 times 2/3 is negative 2/3 x. And 2/3 times 18. If you need to come over and show some work, you can do that. 2/3 times 18. Maybe you use cross-canceling. Maybe you multiply straight across. I prefer cross-canceling. 3 goes into 18 evenly 6 times, and 6 times 2 is 12. So I'll have positive 12. No more like terms, so I'm going to leave it just like that. It's the best we can do. Let's look at number 10. Determine which expressions, if any, are equivalent. Show your work. So we need to figure out if any of these 3 are the same. All we can do here is distributive property. 4x minus 12. This one's a little different. We're going to do distributive property still. But that 6x stays the same. 6x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. 6x and negative 2x are like terms together, they're 4x. Those aren't the same. Let's keep going. I'm going to use the distributive property again. X plus 3 times x is 3x. And positive 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and that negative 6 gets tacked on. Going to combine my like terms. I got x plus 3x is 4x. Negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. Oh, those are the same. This one and this one, when you simplify them, are the same. Go ahead and turn the page. Give those a shot. Let me know how it goes. Turn to page 26 with me. It says factor each expression. Now this was something, it's in our book, and you can visit our book. It's an extension. We didn't take notes on it, but I want to show you how it works so that you'll be ready to do the rest of this page. Factor each expression. Well, the word factor, I know you know from 6th grade. We want to look for the greatest common factor between 8 and 16, and we're going to divide it out. So the greatest common factor between 8 and 16 is 8. I can take that 8 out of our expression and multiply, or divide it out. So if I divide 8a by 8, I'm going to have a. And if I divide 8 out of 16, I'm going to have positive 2. And I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses and say I took an 8 out of this. And you can check your work, because when I use the distributive property, I'm going to get the exact same thing I started with, 8a plus 16. Let's try another one. The greatest common factor between 12 and 20 is 4. You can divide 4 out of both of these terms, 12x and negative 20. If I take a 4 out of 12, a factor of 4 out of 12, I'll have 3x left over. Write that 3x. And if I take a factor of negative 20 out, I'll have negative 5. Let's try another one. Greatest common factor of 6 and 18. I'm also going to take out this negative. I'll show you how. The greatest common factor between 6 and 18 is 6. And I'm going to open parentheses. I'll have this negative. What am I going to do with this negative? I'm going to put it in my greatest common factor. That way I'll have a left over. And if I divide out a factor of negative 6, I'm going to be left with negative 3. And you can check your work. Negative 6 times negative 3, is it positive 18? Then it works for our expression. Let's try one more. Go all the way down to this number 10. And we're going to need to show amazing work for this one, so I'm going to give myself some more space. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. Make sure you got your really sharp pencil for this one. It takes a lot of work. The first thing I'm going to do is copy the problem down. Then I'm going to make sure that I wrote the problem down correctly. Confirm that you wrote it down correctly. Next, I'm going to start to use order of operations to simplify this long expression. This 4x plus 7, I can't do anything inside these parentheses, but I can take care of this subtraction sign. This subtraction sign, it would be totally fine if I put a 1 right here. Doesn't change the value at all. Now I'll need to use the distributive property to get rid of all of my parentheses. So here we go. 4x minus 7, or plus 7. Negative 1 times negative 3x is positive 3x. And negative 1 times negative 9 is positive 9. And the rest of the expression stays exactly the same. Now we have some like terms. I'm going to highlight all my like terms. 4x, positive 3x, and positive 9x are all like terms. Positive 7, positive 9, and negative 28 are like terms. And if I combine them all together, 4x plus 3x and 9x, altogether 16x. Positive 7, positive 9, and negative 28. Positive 7 plus 9, that's 16. And then I've got that negative 28. They have different signs, right? Positive 16 and negative 28. So I'm going to subtract them. Subtract the numbers. And then think about, before you even do that, subtract. Is the answer going to be positive or is it going to be negative? When I subtract these numbers, I got 12. 28 is bigger than 16. So our answer is negative. That's the best we can do. We can't combine any more like terms. But it says rewrite in factored form if possible. Is there a greatest common factor between 12 and 16? There is. We can take a factor of 4 out of both 16 and 12. If I take a factor of 4 out of 16, I'll have 4. And if I take a factor of 4 out of negative 12, I'll have negative 3. Ooh, that was a long one, a big one. But if you show amazing work, it doesn't look so bad at the end. You try the rest. Let me know how it goes. Page 26 and 27. Check your answers online, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!